Hi, everyone. Um, Forgive me for the lame image. I mean, the image is beautiful, but I know nothing about computers and software and videos and how to post the image correctly in order to not just get a web page. I think I only have the option at this point to just give you a web page link. So instead of the actual image. So that's what you're saying. I'm not in the mood to show my face. And this is a beautiful picture. So that's what I'm posting. Um, I wanted to give an update. I wish John could be here as well, but he's actually working. And, when he has the time and the inclination and the energy to make one, he will. I don't know when or how that's going to happen, but I can basically fill you in on what's going on. Oh boy. So I believe those videos were made back in 2016. We took them down for quite a while. And as you can see, reposted them, I think about 10 months ago. And some of you were glad that we reposted and are asking for updates. So here's the update. I don't know how short it's going to be, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. So we have moved to Washington State. 2018 is when we moved. And we're glad we moved. And John's current status is he is still on the Lunesta. I don't remember if back in when we made those videos if he was on the Lunesta or not, but he tried to taper off, and it's very difficult in the circumstances we are in, living with my mom at the time, and dealing with that, and then not working, and just the nightmare of stress and situations that we were under, which I'm not even going to get into. He was unsuccessful at the tapering. So he basically, things, we were supposed to move out and had a friend that was supposed to help us out. I think I put this in the video, but it may not be there. So forgive me if I'm saying the same thing again. And it all blew up in our face. The guy was not honest. It was just a bad situation. I mean, I'm glad we didn't end up moving into the mobile park that he was managing. But because of the aftermath of all that, John just went sleepless again. Total anxiety, amplified to the max, stressed. Just more trauma. And so he just went back on the Lunesta, which was awful. But, that's what you do when you have no choice and you need to sleep and you're in crisis mode. So he has been on it, basically, for at least that long, if not longer. He was trying to taper off while we were up here, but it's just too difficult to do that. I mean, basically, I think a lot of you know that you have to have an environment that's conducive to tapering. So basically, you have to have enough money so that you're not worried every day about how your income is going to come in and if you're going to run out of your savings, because that's going to keep you up and add to the level of anxiety and stress. So and contribute to more insomnia, So you're not going to be able to taper, or it's going to be so difficult. So that's not been our case. I mean, basically, we moved up here, we had no savings. So he had to work. I started working, and he's not even in the place to be working physically and emotionally and mentally, but we don't have a choice. A lot of you are in that situation. So he is working. It is actually a job that works for him. He basically makes his own hours. So, he doesn't have a full-time schedule because he can't even do that physically. So that helps. And he enjoys what he does, but of course, he should be resting. But that's not the case. So we don't have the ability, he doesn't have the ability to taper right now. I can't work full time to support us. Even if I did, I don't make enough money to support us. So that's our situation. We don't have the financial means to taper right now. Okay. We don't really have the physical means for him to taper right now because we live in a one-room cabin, and even though we're basically in the same room with each other all the times, and it's you need your own space when you're tapering because a lot of when you do that, you need to be alone. You're sensitive to sound, to basically everything, to light. You have mood swings. You are tired all day. You just want to rest, or maybe just close your eyes, even if you can't sleep, whatever. And we can't do that in a one-room cabin. So we have been trying to find another place to live that is, a house with more than one room. So if he needs to just spend time by himself, he can do that. But we haven't been successful with that. It's been very difficult to do that. We're still looking, but for right now, we don't have the physical means for that. We don't have the financial means for the tapering. This is going on 7 years now. I mean, I don't know if any of you have been through this for 7 years. I mean, I know a lot of you were able to taper off and you are med free, and it's taken you a year and a half, 2 years to have your brain somewhat come back to normal and your central nervous system and all that, which is great. But that's not our situation. We're in a 7-year trying to taper, unsuccessful. I mean, he's tapered off, as the other 3 that he was on, and you can watch the other videos about that. But, nothing's changed in terms of his physical state, his mental and emotional state. I mean, it's gotten better because we have moved here and gotten out of my mom's, which was not good. Not a good place to be in. We've gotten out of California, which is good. We are surrounded by trees. We're literally in the middle of the wilderness. Very good. No, there's not a lot of noise, which is good. We're in a more friendlier environment, which is good. When he does work, he enjoys his work. So, it's like you kind of look at the positives of all this. You try to, at least. And you make the best with what you have. So that's, in a nutshell, the update. We continue, as we have for the last 7 years, to take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. We don't really have any other choice but to do that. John still has definite periods of highs and lows, as going through this, you do. because you're so exhausted and so tired of being in this for so long, and knowing that the road ahead to taper seems like a mountain you'll never climb and get over. Um, so you just kind of can't even think about that. You just kind of have to live in the moment and in the now, and not worry about that. You know, um, John is pretty hopeless that this is ever going to change. Short of winning the lottery, in order to have what we need to taper, to do this successfully in the only way that we know how. Because when you've been in it for so long and you've gone through 3 medications tapering and the nightmare of that, like, you don't even have it in you mentally and physically and emotionally to do it, because you've been in it for so long, for 7 years. So I guess when he's ready and he'll do it, because that's how he was in the past. But I don't know. I mean, he doesn't have any hope that it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't even know how it's going to happen or when. I think, we just, like I said, we just stay in the now, and we do the best we can. And we try to look at the positives in things instead of the negatives. And when he does have his periods of intense anxiety and fear, we try, and he tries to do the best he can with that, just try to calm himself down and go for a walk or scream or cry or whatever. There's no easy answers for this. Um, I still have hope even after 7 years. I know if anyone can do it, he can, get off these meds and be med free and have his brain heal. I believe he can do it. I just don't know when or how it's going to happen. Um, you know, um, but I still have hope even when he doesn't. He's just so tired of being sick and tired, and he's so worn down. And he tries to be positive and optimistic, and we laugh a lot. And he doesn't show to people what he's going through, because, as you guys know, no one understands unless you've gone through it. And so, we just basically keep to ourselves. We don't have friends. We don't have family. We just have each other. And I don't know, I wish he could be med free and have his brain healed. I wish he could be where a lot of you are. But that's not the case. So, we just, like I said, we do the best we can. We try not to get too depressed and suicidal. He's gone through his suicidal phases. Yeah, definitely up here. You know, how do you work and function and support a family and live a semi-normal, if that's what it's called, life, when you're going into 7 years of being on chemicals that alter your brain and your nervous system, and of course everything that is attached to the nervous system, the muscles, the nerves, the organs, the whole thing. So that's it, in a nutshell. And thanks for your comments. They're really helpful. They keep us going. I think, as we've said in these videos, it's so important to know you're not alone. We do know we're not alone. We wish we could have other people that we know up here at least that have gone are going through this that we could talk to, but right now we don't. So we just do the online thing. So we appreciate your comments. It'd be great if you could comment. Let us know how you guys are doing, and yeah. So and I think one more thing I want to add, and I think I put this in the video. I had two videos and I lost one of them, and so I don't know if it's in that one that I made or the other one that I lost, but the importance of a spiritual connection is you have to have that to get through this. So, and it doesn't matter what you believe in or who you believe in, or whatever gives you a sense of hope and stability, a sense of faith, whatever it is, to help you to keep going on a spiritual level. Even though your mind can be riddled with so much chemicals that you can't think straight, and John doesn't feel that connection. That's the problem with these meds. It's so difficult to feel it. A connection to himself and to God, that he understands, and which is really sad, but, he does his best. And so we know that's important. And I think that's what's kept us going for so long, especially I know for myself. And for those of you listening that are the loved ones, like myself, of the person going through this, I think as much as you can, you need to take a break and take care of yourself, so you don't get sucked in, because it's easy to, because how are you going to be there for him or her if you can't be there for yourself? So I think there's a fine balance, and then, trying not to get carried away with worry and fear, trying to stay in the moment and think positively. It's important. Allowing, I just allow John to be where he's at, because I know it's not his fault when he has mood swings and emotions and feels the angst of all this. It's the meds and the trauma of what we've gone through for so many years, being on these and getting off these and all this and everything we've gone through to, being homeless, the whole thing. So it's basically being a support system to him and being as loving as I can and allowing as I can and patient as I can, and, remembering that he's not doing this. It's just the effects of the medications that are doing this, the after effects of the withdrawals, the, still being on them, the whole thing, so I don't take it personally. I'm just there. I'm there to support him financially, emotionally, physically, any way I can. And I know it's not easy. We all have our days. And I know a lot of people, they end up breaking up or divorcing their spouse because it's too much. And I get that. But, John and I, if it wasn't for this, we have a really good relationship. This is an outside factor that we just don't allow into our marriage, if that makes any sense. Because we have a solid marriage despite this, this issue, these issues we're going through with the meds. So you got to have that, or else, you just can't make it. And it's tragic. Just, as we know, it destroys lives, it destroys marriages, it destroys relationships, it destroys families, the whole thing. So we're still here. We're still moving on, moving forward. We're still together, still hanging in there. And, you know, I just encourage all of you to hang in there. Just hang in there one more day if you can. Because you could be one more day closer to getting better, even though in the moment it doesn't feel like it. So that's it. You know, you guys are all in our thoughts and our prayers, and we wish everyone health, mentally and physically and spiritually. And that's it. Bye for now.